合唱。ナモミダ仏。ナモミダ仏。ナモミダ仏。ナモンダ仏。ナモンダ仏。ナモンダ仏。ナモンダ仏。ナモンダ仏。Hello and welcome to the Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple's YouTube service. This is a service for February 27th, 2022, and is also the Shotsuki service for the month of February. Thank you once again for joining us here on Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple's YouTube channel. Service order for this service will be Juseige. You can find Juseige on page 57 in the Blue Denver Service Book. We'll then have a reading of the Shotsuki names for the month of February. Following the Shotsuki names, we'll have a reading of the Metta on page 108. And then after the Metta, there'll be a Dharma talk addressing the war in Ukraine. Thank you very much for joining us once again here on the Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple's YouTube channel. If you don't have a copy of the Blue Denver Service Book, well, don't you worry, because if you look in the description down below, you'll find a hyperlink to a Google Drive where you can download your own PDF copy of the Blue Denver Service Book. Please make sure to download it, use it, and chant along with the pages supplied. We have some exciting announcements coming up here at the Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple in the next couple weeks, so please stay tuned, because you may have a chance to come back here to the temple at 1947 Lawrence Street in Denver, Colorado. Put your hands together with your fellow Sangha mates and say, Namo Amida Butsu. Gagon chosengan hishimu jodo shingan fumanzok seifu joshongak gaho muyoko fui daiseshu Fusai shomingu seifu joshongak gashi jonbundo myosho chojipo kukyo mishomon seifu joshongak Ryoku jinshonen joe shubongyo shigu mujodo isho tenin shi jinriki endai ko fusho musaido shoujo sankumyo kosai shuyakunan kaihi chiengen meshi konmoan heisoku shoakudo tsunan zenshumon koso jomanzok iyorojipo nichingan shujuki tenko honpungen ishikai hozo kosei kudoku ho jonai shuju seppo shishiku kuyo isai bun 具足修徳本願に信条満得意三害を女文無下知津難未不詳願学営力投資最小尊心願や効果大勢の感動国書天人統珍妙見平等性一切どうもない心往生Namo Amida Boots. Namo Amida Boots. Namo Amida Boots. Namanda 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 Boots. Hello, and welcome to the Shotsuki service for the month of February 2022 for the Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple. The Shotsuki service is when we remember those who have been born into the Pure Land in the month of February. If you have a family member on this list, please feel free to offer oshoko in your home obutsudan. If you have someone in your family or a friend who's passed in the month of February and they're not on this list, please feel free to keep them in your hearts, say their name, and also offer oshoko on their behalf. I'll now read the Shotsuki names for the month of February. Please join me in Gasho. Misayo Nigo, Betty Kajiwara, Tom Yamashita, Yukie Hirokawa, Chizuko Domoto, Hatsuyo Miyamoto, Harry Yanari, Mitsuzo Aigaki, George Gohachi Nakata, Yoshio Norman Arakawa, James H. Mizuno, George K. Yago. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Please join me in Gassho for a reading of the Metta. The Metta. May all beings be happy. May they be joyous and live in safety. All living beings, whether weak or strong, in high or middle or low realms of existence, small or great, visible or invisible, near or far, born or to be born, may all beings be happy. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Hello and welcome once again to the Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple. This is the Dharma talk for February 27th, 2022. To add some context to this particular talk, I want to let you know exactly when I'm talking. It is currently February 25th, and it is 19:15 in the evening. So just keep that in mind, because this talk's going to be very much about events happening right at this moment. But first, join me in Gassho as I read from Reverend Tamai's book, Ichinyo. This is from the section, A Life Worth Living. That is why everything is Ichinyo, why everything is one. The United States cannot exist if it destroys the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union cannot exist if it destroys the United States. The mother-in-law cannot be happy by venting anger at the young bride. The bride cannot be happy by hating the mother-in-law. They cannot stand in opposition to each other. They cannot glare at each other. They will never be happy unless they help each other. This is what Ichinyo teaching of Buddha Dharma is, what the Funi teaching is all about. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda 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 Butsu. So Reverend Tamai gave this particular talk, A Life Worth Living. Let me find it. It's at the back here. It was quite a long Dharma talk, and it was given to the National Buddhist Women's Federation meeting in November of 1967. So we're talking 55 years ago. And Reverend Tamai says these words. That is why everything is Ichinyo. And for those of you who don't know what the word Ichinyo means, Reverend Tamai defines it for this book as oneness. That is why everything is Ichinyo. And then he also uses the word Funi. Funi means non-duality. It's a firm Buddhist teaching of non-duality. And I found this interesting because today, as of right about this moment, this marks the third day of the invasion of the democratically elected democratic nation of Ukraine by the Russian Federation, the first open war in the European continent since World War II. As we speak, as I speak these words, Russian and Ukrainian men and women, children, mothers, fathers, mothers-in-law, and young brides are fighting and dying in the streets of Ukraine. They are invading based on the orders of their superior officers if they're Russian, and they're dying in their homes if they are Ukrainian. These are people whose hearts beat every moment like yours and mine do. These are people who have dreams and hopes. These are people who loved and disliked certain things. These are people who wanted to live a long life. And these are people who are now dead because of war. The fighting and brutality that is humanity is proof that we are bombu. The greed, anger, and ignorance, which engulfs all of us, is a testament to us not being enlightened beings. The fact that we cannot understand such a simple lesson as ichinyo, oneness, sameness, that the same blood pumps through all of our veins, that the same desire to take another breath and to see another sunrise is universal, and instead would rather kill each other for greed, anger, and ignorance, is a testament to why, as humanity, we are not grown. We are but children wandering in the dark, wishing for the comfort of a parent. And for us Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, that parent is Amida Buddha. That cry we cry is Namo Amida Butsu. And that feeling we feel is the infinite compassion and love of Amida Buddha. And so it is easy for us as Buddhists, people who hear, even the most foolish of us can be saved. If the vow works for the good person, how much better does it work for the bad person? We can think, oh, that war over there in Ukraine, that's a thing. Being a good Buddhist, I wouldn't fight in that war. Being a good Buddhist, you got to go middle path. You got to find peace. You got to talk it out. And I want to think about this for a moment, because we are also not clean. We are no better than anyone else in the world. That concept of ichinyo, that oneness, that means we are the same as the Russians invading Ukraine and the Ukrainians defending their homes. We are no different from them. We are just as foolish and just as angry and just as sad. There is no difference between us and them. The history of Jodo Shinshu, of our school, is not without conflict. We were once ikoshu. We once fought a long, bloody, and drawn-out war against the government of Japan. Priests dressed just as I am picked up swords and muskets and killed Japanese soldiers doing their duty. So Japanese soldiers, those under their daimyo, ordered, just like the Russians, to invade temples. And priests like me, in their homes, picked up guns and swords and killed them. We are not better than these people. We are not different than these people. Both these people need our compassion. Both these people are people that are worthy of the vow. They are not inherently evil, the soldiers in the streets. They are just people trying to survive, trying to breathe, and trying to see that next sunrise. That being said, just because we are the people of the vow, and just because we are never outside of this oneness with the Nembutsu, ichinyo with the Nembutsu, once again, of one taste, of one voice, of one embrace, Namo Amida Butsu, does not mean that evil is okay. Does not mean that doing an evil action is fine just because we have the cure. In the Tani Show, it says, one should not take the poison simply because one has the cure. There was a concept early in Shinshu history called licensed evil. Well, if my birth in the Pure Land is settled, then I should do whatever I want. That is not true. And so it is okay, I think, for the Shinshu follower to go, that is wrong, that is evil, that is not okay. Jodo Shinshu Buddhists have fought in every major conflict since 1900 in the United States. They have fought in World War I, they fought in World War II, they fought in Korea, they fought in Vietnam, and they fought in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, the wars in Afghanistan. We've had temple members here at Tri-State Denver Buddhist Temple who have picked up a gun, put on armor, and defended the country based on the orders of their superiors. This is the truth of our existence. We are violent animals. We need the Nembutsu. And while I have no answer for Ukraine and Russia, I don't know how to fix this other than it makes me cry. I know Ukrainians, I know Russians. They're both my friends. But when it comes down to it, one country invaded another. And this is so sad. Because without Ukraine, is it really the same? As Reverend Tamai said, the United States cannot exist if it destroys the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union cannot exist if it destroys the United States. We are all one. Venting anger does not make another one happy. We will never be happy unless we help each other, unless we see each other as brothers and sisters. We'll never be happy until we look at another person and say, you know, but for different karma, that person is me, and they deserve my love. So as you move forward and you see the news and you see the sadness that this is, say Namo Amida Butsu and know that you're embraced and know that you are safe. But do not abide evil in the world just because it is easy. And do not think that we are above evil, because we are the people of greed, anger, and ignorance. And know that we are one. We are one. And together, with one voice, we put our hands together in Gassho and say, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.